Hello, this is my new major makeup tutorial of this year, and today I want to explore a bit of wisdom of the past, a bit of wisdom of the ages, wisdom of beauty, in educational pursuit of history in makeup and also fashion influence. We'll look a little bit at what I was inspired by last year, which was the ancient Greek golden goddess aesthetic style. Obviously, I love a lot of cottagecore, princesscore, and we'll also look a little bit with this year. I'm really inspired by Renaissance, and that being sort of a metamorphosis of fashion, fashion clothing, accessories, jewelry, beauty, makeup, um, also just skincare as well as makeup, which I'll also be delving in personally today. And I hope you are all inspired as well to try some of these and experiment yourselves. So without further ado, let's get on it and see how we can balance all of these amazing aesthetics. And I'll have just a little bit of attention for my nails. I've got these beautiful red, which are quite similar to ruby in my visual perspective. Also have my Bridgerton skincare and makeup headband from Primark. They just beautiful like merch. I love the little floral pattern around the side, and this is going to be great for just the whole topic of today. So yeah, I may have shown in previous videos or maybe on my Facebook pages profiles about my skincare and favourite cleansers. I do love Lizelles are my favourites. We're going to do like some separate videos on those. Obviously her brand is very botanical and influenced from like Queen Victoria and Isle of Wight and sort of chamomile soothing properties. But obviously her packaging, it's like you're a queen or a goddess itself. It's so beautiful. So today actually I use my Garnier, which is very spring, and I would say quite again like a soothing, but something simple and not too pungent, because sometimes I do find that some products can be a bit pungent, but this one, it has a simple smell and I wish you could smell it. And it just, again, it's like it's a bit more affordable. It's a little bit of ancient Greek style, because you've got the simplicity of milk and rose water. This is the cleansing milk, so the texture is going to be kind of a little bit more like a cream, and that's what this botanist tries to pursue. She tries to encourage everybody to use a cream cleanser or something that's like milk, something that adds moisture to your skin. And then I just took the label off. This little print in the inside was so beautiful. This is the Rose Tonic, but I just like to think it's my rose water product on my dressing vanity, as honestly it's not hardly a toner. It's not even like tight and dry, and it's a little firming, but in that natural sense, nature inspired. Just adds a bit of freshness to the skin. Fresh. So we've used some lovely rose to cleanse the skin. Very soothing, very calming, especially at this time of year. I feel like there's going to be a lot of, hay fevers and allergies, where you just want to kind of use something on your skin that's going to prepare your skin or sort of treat the skin. So anyway, we have some of my other favourites, Nivea. So this is the day cream, and this is the tinted SPF. So all day creams should be like SPF. That's why they are designed. So most people say every day, the sun, on your skin. It's okay to let a bit of sun on your skin, but you should always have some form of SPF. So I do try to do that just by simply using my day cream, which has that SPF 15, and it has obviously an infusion of lots of mineral pigment with the tint, but it has vitamin A. I just love how many vitamins Nivea has and beautiful sort of healthy glow it you can get. So yeah, so I think this is good for when it comes to the spring and summer and you want a little bit of a tint. So as you can see, this is a little bit like a foundation, but it's actually just moisturizer. So I'm going to be putting some of this on my skin. I literally don't wear that much makeup now. I generally just use this on its own. And it's great to use in the morning to add to if you're wearing any fake tan or anything. You can always add a little bit of the tinted day creams on your skin, especially if you're not doing foundation or bronzer. So it might not look too greatly apparent in this lighting, but yes, I have applied just a little amount of it. So it's going to protect my skin through the day from the sun, even just like any ultraviolet rays. And that's because this is my day cream in SPF and my trusty Nivea. And it's, you know, as I say, it's like a little foundation. It's not one of the clogging sort of things that you can wear every single day. Just one of these, and you can also use it as like a primer, I guess, as well. But anyways, my makeup today is, as I say, we're going to be talking very educationally about pigments and application. So the first thing I think I would put on for my primer just today be some of my Revolution Jelly Primer, just because I want to create a glow. I don't want to be matte. I want to have a little bit of a dewy early spring morning look. So, oh, the smell is so good. So jelly, as I say, would be a great primer in the old sort of, I would even go back the ancient, obviously we'll go back the ancient times. Anything that's got a sort of thick jelly or honey inspired texture. Just use my fingers and hands to apply. So that just gives us a little bit of a glow and a nice comfortable grip. So we've got a little bit of texture there, as you can see. So the grips just... Okay, so the next thing I'm going to use is some Rimmel Match Perfection, one of my favourites again. Rimmel SPF 20, so this has got a bit of SPF in it as well. Just going to re-rub this in. I'm going to use it on my neck as well because it just adds a little bit extra moisture. So again, I'm just going to be using mainly my fingers for application use, as I feel like you get less, you know, build up on your brushes as well. So I'm just going to use a little bit on the back of my hand, or just literally my finger, like a pea-sized amount. We'll use the ring finger, just a dab, just to test how much I've got, because with foundation, when you apply it, the amount you're using really influences the texture. And I literally, even like the type of brush or applicator, I mean, it's just my ring finger that you're using, can really play a great role in how the foundation sets. So I do use my hand like this. I have had lots of different ways I've applied foundation in my life, but literally when I just use my fingers, like especially the beauty finger, the ring finger, because it has the least pressure, you just get like a more direct result, and it's much more easier. So honestly, like, it just blends in seamlessly. There's no streakiness, there's no blotch. So there we go. I've got this lovely base now, this lovely canvas. So the next thing I'm going to use is I'm going to add a little duo. We're going to have some Rimmel. We're going to add the Lasting Radiance Concealer and Eye Illuminator. So this one, as I say, is just a medium shade for foundation and concealer. Just get a medium shade. However, sometimes people say if you want to add a concealer can work as a highlighter, it's good to use maybe a shade brighter than your foundation. And concealer can be used as base for eyeshadow, get an eye primer. Sorry, my nose is very itchy. And you can use it to sort of drag areas up, like the lip, the eyes, the eyebrows. So again, we're just going to use like a little tapping motion. I just find it blends so quickly for me. Another trio, we've got my Rimmel Stay Matte, and as I said, I didn't really want much matte today, so I'm just literally going to be using just the tiniest little bit of my little contour brush, just because I like the angle of this, and it's not a big brush where it kind of just goes everywhere. So all this is going to do is simply remove any, like blur any unwanted patchiness. And what I'll also do sometimes is, because I've used a bit of concealer on my eyebrows, I'm just going to powder over the eyebrows. This is coming into, I think, Georgian era a little bit. All the powders. So maybe not doing too accurate with all time periods. I'm just going for all time periods and having a bit of imagination here. Like going over the nose a little bit, you just kind of want your nose to be powdered. And I feel like you can use these brushes, the contour ones, for the powders under the eyes, because it just sit nicely as they go under the eye, rather than having a big brush like directly in front of the eye. I think generally these are invented for that. Just maybe a little bit under the lip. Just being a bit stingy with it. Next, I'm going to use another great palette of mine, which is my Technique Colour Fix Cream Foundation and Contour Palette. This is mainly just cream colours. I'm using the brightest white I can get, if as possible, and also the peachiest colour. So I'm going to use a bit of the peach on this finger, and some of this one. It's really thick, but I feel like this can add a little bit of that brightness, like I want a little bit of conceal and highlight in the eye, just to add some ethereal essence. And then I'm going to go back over with the powder. So anything that's sort of got like that, ancient style effect, Georgian, or even like Elizabethan style, like sort of beautiful white ethereal goddess style. So that's sort of added. I know it doesn't look that obvious, but yeah, we're thinking ancient times, we're thinking Elizabethan, we're thinking Georgian, beautiful, like sort of purity. Okay, so that is something I wouldn't usually always do, because that is quite a pungent colour to use, but it does seem to have blended quite well, which is really beautiful. Anyway, so we're going to use now a little bit of maybe some of the we'll use this for the contour, because you can use a few of these shades on just white and peach. We've got some lovely brown beautiful shades here, and also this one here. I feel like we could use my ring finger again, and I'm just going to use not the really dark, just the lovely sunshine one here. Try to get it manual. Just to do the contouring. So doing like the hairline, and the cheekbone, and the jawline. What we're really doing is we're just carving out and sculpting And even the nose, we can do like a little bit of slimmer outline. It's beautiful nose. Oh god, got this white. And if you just put a bit of the white in the middle, you can see a bit of a highlight of my outline of my nose. And we'll just do the other side. And I think this is given very elven, sort of fantasy, whimsical cheekbone. And we'll help give that a little bit of help. We might use a little bit of the Fairy Godmother and Goddess Herself, Charlotte Tilbury product. I'm going to use my Hollywood shimmer because I know this is good for a night out. And it is mainly a bronzer, but you can use it as a contour. However, I feel like it's really good to add a little bit of that sun-kissed shimmer because you know you want to have a little bit of fun in the spring. So I'm just using my little favourite brush, the Slent Contour. And this is what actually we need to use for this one. So it's a bit pigmented, but you can work it out. And I usually blend it down behind the ear and on the ear. And we'll carve out the jaw. I mean, this is mainly for the perimeters of the face, so bronzer. And where the sun would naturally bronze you. We're going to go full on all in with bronzer. So, you know, we've already added some of our day cream tinted moisturizer. So I want to really whip that in. It's giving that beautiful ancient Greek effect. Surprisingly, the Regency period, that was like Bridgerton, early like 1800s, they were very inspired by ancient Greek times, hence the slim little dresses of the era. Just put a little on my nose. Once you've kind of used this in a circular motion and buffed it in, lovely bronze look. And honestly, I'm just sticking with this brush. I love this one. It's a little one. It's not even an expensive one. It was just from Home Bargains, a little set. And honestly, oh, it's really soft. And okay. So the next thing I'm going to use is my favorite, my Soulmates Charlotte Tilbury, one of the limited edition ones. And I just love this product. Like, this is definitely given, you know, goddess. Like, something I'd imagine would be like on like an angel's vanity or something. Like, honestly, so beautiful. It's like it fell from the heavens. It's got this beautiful gold, sort of real gold effect. And I love this little gemstone. This is my favourite part about it. It is so beautiful. And even when I've used all the product, you could keep this as like your own little compact mirror because it is a compact. So you can still use the mirror. And I've got the Soulmate, like a little broken heart, or two, no, it's actually two hearts together. And we're going to use this before this. I think I may have shown you before, but I'm not sure. This people might mistaken for an actual blusher. They're not two different blushers. They can be if you want them to be, but this is more of an interesting type of powder. This, it's got a lovely little design, which I've just brushed over. This is actually like a really fine cream style powder, and it's actually airbrush powder. And you can put this underneath, and this is going to just honestly marry all of those colours together and textures I've just applied in that area. Oh, it doesn't get better when it comes to the Charlotte Tilbury brand. Honestly, look at that texture. So we're just going to do that underneath the eye. And it's kind of like a setting base for the blush. It just blurs and evens everything out. Like when I first swept this over, you could see how this one was not as lifted. It blurs, it lifts. It's so beautiful. And then we've got this beautiful. This is the. I wasn't even sure what the name of the blush is, but I think in my opinion, it's like a beautiful Barbie colour. I love it. It's just perfect. I'm not going to use too much. I'm actually going to mix two blushes together today. I'm going to go a bit crazy. Maybe I might. I'm not sure. But anyway, I love this blush. I feel like it's a perfect kind of blush because I want it to go a bit rouge to give off, them older eras, bit of rouge, but I want it to be kind of baby as well, a bit more youthful and spring. So I'm just gonna literally do the ears as well, because you might notice in some paintings of people like Marie Antoinette, they have the ears also rouged. I think do the temples. Gorgeous. I was actually going to do my Dior as well, because this is like a rouge, and I do love the bourgeois as well. So I'm thinking I might add just a tiny little bit of the red, literally nothing, just to add even extra blush, just a bit more depth. I'm going to be using some Dior now as well. I think that gives a lovely sort of rose colour. We're going to be using some Dior. This is a Dior highlighter. Is it highlighting? Got sheer, metallic, shimmer, sheer gold pearl, metallic pink gold, shimmer rose, and metallic gold peach. And which one should I go for? I feel a bit like we'll add a little bit of this satin pink because I feel that will add a lovely luxury effect, because it's not too dark, it's not too light, but I want it to be quite like it's given. I've got satin or some kind of beautiful material, a bit of extra blush. It hits light, like beautiful, and it honestly goes with the pink floral on my little dress here. So might look a little bit like over pigmented, but we've got there. This is my whole facial bit. I'm going to start on the eyebrows before I do the eyes. So onto eyes and eyebrows. I've got some more Rimmel, and this is my Browless Way brow sculpting kit. I actually bought a new one so I could use to do my brows a bit better. So this is a little mini spoolie you get with it. It's tiny, but it's so adorable. You can see, just my camera's not really a zoomy in one anymore. Don't have big bushy brows, to be honest with you. We've got this lovely little, again, sloped sort of brush, and we've got the wax and we've got the powder. So I think the little brush is good for the wax. So we get a little bit on there. I'm going to just start by finding the eyebrow beginning and the eyebrow end. I love how this shade is a lovely light brown. Again, I just mini go for like the beige coloured light brown blondish eyebrows now. And it's so simple to just work with the hairs, follow the line of growth. And you can also use your fingers to just smudge in, because I like to have a little bit of smudge. I don't like it to be too perfect, because why is perfect? But it will be the perfect one, because this is the way I like to do it. So it might look a bit crazy at first, but you just blend. But add a bit of the powder. A bit of this powder here. And I'm just going to apply that like this. Not so much with the brush like pen, more like I'm just brushing it in, and then I'm going to spoolie it all, rolling it around a bit. And I think I kind of got there. It doesn't look too bad. I do love a good angle on my eyebrow. I'm coming to life. And I might just use a tad bit of cheeky naughty light highlight. Just perfect it. Just to kind of define them and keep them nice and clean and start to prepare for the eyeshadow. So we are going to do eyeshadow next. I was thinking maybe we were going to be posh because I actually have my Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow. And this is the luxury palette. So let's begin with these beautiful rose burgundy colours. It's like a chocolate box. It's like an assortment of chocolate. So I'm not going to be too over complex my brushes. Just got my blendy one. I know sometimes I might use my flatter brush, which is for like really just dabbing it on, but I'm just going to go all in. So I'm going to use a tiny little bit, because also I don't like to use too much on brushes. I can't be like cleaner. Of this like lightish brown, wood brown shade. Just look more red rouge burgundy on the compact, but it does look a bit more like a wooded brown. If you just know how to kind of naturally, like very, very subtly apply it, it can work quite well with the certain brush that you've got. You can use a sort of more different motions. You can dab. Obviously, certain brushes do have better qualities, but if you can use different techniques sometimes with one, you're good to go. Sometimes you can dab, you can blend, you can brush in different directions. Really just blending that in. And you can use different ways. You can do clockwise, anti-clockwise, as long as it's into the crease. And then honestly being super duper subtle, so we're just going to add a bit of this lovely shimmer on top of the brush. I'm not going to add too many different pigments. That's going to come in from the corner and west in the corner. And so subtle. That is literally it. I'm going to do the other eye. And here's my eyes. So next we're going to do a little bit, just like maybe just a tiny little bit of some mascara. I'm not actually going to do any eyeliner today. I'm keeping it really, really subtle. I've kind of maybe took a little bit of a break from the eyeliner. We can still line up the that area with the mascara because it outlines if you apply it, right? With the mascara, I'm using the collection one. I might have some little tips and tricks on how to outline the eye with just mascara. Honestly, I wish I could use my far nose products. They're so beautiful, like Cute Bird ones, but I'm too scared because they're so beautiful and I don't want to ruin them. So I'm going to take this directly to the lash line and just dab it, but be really careful because it smudges really easily. So if I come a little closer, because I'm zooming in, it's a bit difficult. So I'm literally just resting it underneath. What I think is really good about when you do this technique is I'm very good at outlining my waterline, but once it gets so deep in to there, you just say it creates like a little bit of a line effect from the waterline. So I've always wanted to be good at that, but this is my little technique. And then we're going to drag it up and really think about the lashes once you've done the dabbing sensation. If you're just very careful not to put yourself in the eye or smudge. And then you can create that lovely fit lash look. You can also go different directions. And have the eye a little bit more down, up. And you know, some people do the under eye, and obviously I've always done that. I actually experiment to see if I don't want to do the under light. I'm just honestly, you can do so much more with the mascara than you think. Okay, I'm just going to do the second eye. Wasn't the best on the side. I kind of got a little bit underneath, but yeah, I might just see if I can just do the top line. Obviously, we can do the bottom line the same thing with like just a little bit of mascara to create that underline to do the whole thing. But obviously, in ancient they would like do like the whole like thing, like ancient Egypt or whatever. But I'm just experimenting with a bit of that. We've got a little bit of that, and we're going to have a little bit of natural for the lash. So now it's on my absolute favourite and most relaxing part of the makeup tutorial, which is the lips, the fun part. So I'm going to start by using, since we're talking about, you know, all of those, my favourite things at the minute, which I like. Obviously I love anything floral, anything flora. A little bit of rose is my favourite, and a little bit of honey. So anything that's like rose or honey is amazing. This is literally 2-in-1 because I'm using like Gazoo shampoo, and I'm using like the Gazoo products. I'm also, as I said, that's like lovely blonde brightness to my blonde hair. I also use the Herbal Essences Rose shampoo, so they're too good, like they go together so well, flowers and honey. So this is the Gazoo, and it's made with like petroleum jelly and all that. And I keep it actually on my vanity next to some of my Gazoo products because it has a little bee. It makes me think of honey. It also makes me think of Bridget and all that stuff. So, because the texture smells like honey, and it's called Rosy Glow. It's got that rose colour. It's got the texture, and applicator is so beautiful. But as you can see, the texture is very thick. It's very jelly, very honey, and it's also rose coloured. Now this is just going to add a little bit of it on, just to add a bit of plump. I should have done this at the beginning when I put the primer on. I totally forgot. But I'm just going to add a little bit of that on. Underneath is like a balm. It's a lip oil. So I'm just going to let me rub that in. Just so it plumps my lips. Just adding a little bit of plump. I'm actually going to be doing a bit of lipstick and things today. So I won't just be having this on its own, but the colour is beautiful. And just add like a little bit of a base. So I'm using my Nude Blush Lasting Lip Colour Lip Liner from Collection again. So this is a little pencil one, and we're going to do some beautiful outline on the Cupid's bow. I feel like having the oil on actually adds such a beautiful glide. So when you do like anything like this, you can use sort of like as if you're shading like on the side. You have to do like directly on the lip, and you can use the ring finger to blend it. I feel like lip liner is a good way of adding boldness, like a subtle plump just by adding shape to the lip. And I'm just dragging my lip inwards on the top and blending some of that colour, especially with the texture of the oil. It can help create a pigment or a depth. I'm just going to be doing this for some time because it's an amazing part of it. I feel like the lips are underestimated so much. Now I'm going in a bit more stronger, but on the inside rather than on the outside, over aligning it. I feel like we all go for that insta big lip, but like if you drag inward and create the thin lip, this obviously, you know, when you see the paintings, it's just so chic. Okay, so that's the top of the lip. And now I'm going to do the same here. feeling more like I'm actually putting the lip inward a bit more. I'm actually going to go full on in. I'm just going to do a little dark, like in this area. And then we'll blend it a little bit. And I'm just using some of this collection. Is this collection? It's called Cafe Collection Cafe or Latte. Late, is it? This is a little bit more light. True, it just has a little matte look, but it has a creamy effect. Go to the block. Pucker it. I have a little bit of lipstick on my nose. And then if you want to go over again, sorry, over again with a lip liner. I think it looks so beautiful. And really subtle. This is very spring and it's beautiful. So I'm gonna now fix it with some of my e.l.f. spray. And I'll show you the finished look in a few moments. So now that I've just pushed my hair down, I have actually recently curled my hair with my curling wand. And I use it sort of as if I'm facing downward, and I go inward and face downward, and you get lovely ringlet curls. And obviously when you need to brush them out, it's a nightmare, so I might show you a few tips and tricks of this. And I do love having my fringe like high, not as high as that, but or kind of like this. I feel it gives such beautiful Georgian 1700s appearance, which I know is so edgy. But yes, it does create that sort of beautiful, prestigious, aristocratic Georgian effect, the fringe. This was my Sabrina Carpenter fringe a few years ago. But I do love how it has layer, and I love this little flick, this little curl. And in Georgian 1700s, like sort of time, Regency, you know, Bridgerton, this area is a bit like the Baroque Rococo with gold frames they would have. So you kind of frame in your face by adding curly spirals and things like that. So if I have curls, obviously people struggle sometimes because you've just curled your hair the day before or something and you're getting wear out of it. You've still got the bounce, the volume, but some people, if you're brushing your hair, the curls go frizzy and you lose them. But if you're using a good hairspray and a set, the curls should, they won't look a bit frizzy at first, however, they do form again later in the day. But I might show you a few tips and tricks. So this is my little hairbrush. This is one of those ones from Superdrug's little Tangle teasers. There's hair everywhere. I do love the little angel ones, the detangler ones. They're so beautiful. So we'll do a little bit of hair care. We're going to talk about the bronze in the skin, and we'll talk a bit about the jewellery and the accessories, okay? So to brush my hair, what I would start by doing, and you don't even need an oil or like a scalp oil serum to do this, just rub your hands when I've got the curls. Find the parting as well, wherever the parting is. You can use your comb for this, but my hair's quite thick and half highlighted recently. I'm going to start by shimmying out the hair, because this is going to wake up the scalp and the hair a little bit. You know, you've got here, you've got the centre, you've got sides, you've got the back, you've got underneath, and sort of like kind of mould the hair and flip it, tease it. It look a bit messy now, but your hair should be getting like, should appear bigger, and it helps to activate the volume and the length. So now hair might seem a little bit longer. So, but when you do scalp massages like this, you need to make sure that you're actually just massaging the head, not the hair. So, when I brush, I would use the brush this direction rather than that direction. So, and I'm not going to be going right from the top and mid-length, I'm going directly from the bottom. So, remember you can also use the grasping technique, because these curls were kind of wrinkly, or twirl it the direction of the curl and you'll find the curl again almost. But yeah, we're going to just very gently, just when you've curled it, brush like this, and this is how it keeps it a little bit less frizzy. And you can go underneath. It's just all about gentle strokes and grasping the hair, and then you can go mid-length a little bit, but you're kind of working with the hair rather than against it. And then we'll find the curls. There we go. Curls are intact. And we're doing the same on this side. Literally hardly touching the hair, but you're just giving it the brush it needs. And it's literally that simple. So, you see, I do use Gazoo. I do have the Gazoo here, but I usually use it if I've washed my hair. I'll tend to use things like L'Oreal, especially if I've styled it or whatever, but at the minute I'm using just like a Daily Way serum because the blonde and the moisture to get from it. So I'm not so sure on the botanical things in this, but it just smells a bit like sunflowers to me. It smells like it's sunflowers or floral. And I feel like this gives me a bit of lightness because look at that blonde running out. It's so good. And we'll just go a little bit, and we'll wave the hair out a bit. And then the hair's being smooth. It's also good to just air out the hair a little bit, stretch it, especially at night, I think. Nothing like no tight styles or anything. So next I'm going to just try to push the hair to the back. So I'm going to show you some Goddess Essentials. I've got some Sol de Janeiro Glow Motions Glow Oil Rose Sunset. It smells like latte, champagne latte, whatever you perceive it. And I have my Bondi Sands brush. I literally love this shade because I like anything that's got like a light gold sort of metallic effect rather than something that's too dark for me. But I do have a little fake tan on at the moment, and yes, as I'm using Bondi Sands brush, this helps to like buff it in a little bit. So I literally just put it on the chest, shoulders and neck. It is so beautiful. You might not be able to see much, but yeah, that's it. It is so lovely. Yeah, I feel like it just adds that little bit of shine like to the shoulders areas as well. It's so good. And then the back. And it smells so good. Smell it. Lovely. You have shimmer. So the Bondi Sands brush really good. You need to use a buff for this because it just really helps to set it. And now I'm wearing my cute little pearl floral inspired necklace. Has like a resin effect, and yeah, I probably could use a bit of like a perfume like Dior, like rose sprays and everything, because that's really good for spring. But obviously if I'm use a bit of that, I don't want to like over pungent and overstimulate it. But just have a lovely sort of spring drinks and honestly luxury fragrance and leisure. And I might add a little bit of rose, but I think you can't really go wrong. I do have my Blue and Bouquet and my new Dior. I think it's like a rose from Dior. Beautiful perfume. And I might add, but I might just keep like this. I could probably add some of my caramel, Sol Janeiro, or whatever perfumes, because that might add some really good complement to this fragrance I'm wearing. But I really hope you like the finished look. And I hope you'll give it a go as well. Explore some more vintage styles for this year and the summer, and even some really ancient, legendary effect styles. Thank you for watching and enjoy spring!